Welcome back to the Operation Freedom YouTube channel. What we do here is shine the light of truth on the deep state. They hate that. We do it figuratively with our presentations. We do it literally with our sponsor's product, PatriotLegacy.com. PatriotLegacy.com, featured product of theirs, the Patriot Beacon. 6 overall lighting functions. In addition, solar powered, don't need batteries. You can charge your other devices like your phone from it. In addition, you got a compass, you got a window breaking hammer, and you got a seatbelt cutter. Plus, if those deep state dweebs get just a little bit too close to you, blast them with this. They're gone. Go to patrioticlegacy.com, patrioticlegacy.com. Get yourself, your kids, your grandkids, your car. Can carry it with you anytime. patrioticlegacy.com, the Patriot Beacon. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings and my weekly radio show is to provide you information the bought-off, lamestream, fake media will not present and will not touch. You can join us on the radio show. It's free. Every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. You can stream the show live at davejanda.com. Go to davejanda.com. Right toward the top of the homepage, there's a listen button. Hit that. It will go to Wham Talk 1600's streaming service and just hit the play button. We're there for you every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. Great guests, great analysis, information the lamestream isn't going to touch. In addition, we're also available, at least so far, on this YouTube channel. Now, we've had some real issues with YouTube, as you're probably aware. In last week's YouTube, it was 2 parts. And people ask, well, why do you do 2 parts? Well, this is the reason why. We uploaded both parts early, and they were both scheduled to go around 10 o'clock. Part 2 came up and was launched. Part 1, YouTube sat on for 2 or 3 hours. And that's how long it took us to get it posted, even though it was there in the scheduled category ready to go. We're also finding people are being unsubscribed. The notifications of our presentations are being obliterated. People aren't hearing about it. We're being pushed down in the search engines. Forget monetization. Yeah, you're seeing ads. Well, guess what? We're not seeing the revenue. And so you add all of this up and this censorship that's occurring, and we decided we have to look at some other means and some other opportunities. So here's what we have come up with. We're going to continue posting our YouTube presentations as we do on Tuesday mornings and Saturday mornings, at least until they, pull our channel. But we're also posting information on dailymotion.com/ we have our channel there, Operation Freedom. dailymotion.com/ Operation Freedom. Now, there are a number of presentations we do that the subscribers on our platform, so we have davejanda.com, the free side, the public side, and then the subscription side. The meat of the matter is on the subscription side, where we do our extra WTF geopolitical show, our Insider Insight show, our archives, the podcast for the radio show. But our subscribers at times say, listen, this is so important. You got to get this out. You got to release this to the public. And we do. And we brought that to YouTube. Well, there's been such huge censorship of that we're at a point where we're going to do it for the short term still on putting extra shows up here on YouTube, but they're mainly going on dailymotion.com. So, for example, yesterday, we uploaded an interview we did on the Insider Insight show, our subscription service, with the 2 foremost experts in surveillance technology in the world. You need to know this interview. Our subscribers demanded I get this out, and I agreed, because Bill Binney and Kirk Wiebe spoke about the DNC hack, how it was not a hack, it was an internal download event. They spoke about big data. They spoke about illegal surveillance. These are issues the lamestream's never going to touch. So we uploaded it yesterday, both on the YouTube channel and at dailymotion.com / Operation Freedom. And when we get these the subscribers to say we want these interviews made public, we're going to start just going to dailymotion.com//Operation Freedom with those. And we're going to keep our Tuesdays and Saturdays here on YouTube. But the way it's looking based on the censorship issues that's occurring and what's happening here on this platform, they're going to take us down. It's that simple. Period. Now remember, we still have the radio show, and where the meat is, where everything is at davejanda.com. The public side, we upload information on a regular basis, but where the meat, where we go deep into issues, where we don't have to worry about censorship and choke points. I did a video last Friday with Peter Glidden about the coronavirus, and we didn't talk about vaccines. We didn't talk about big pharma. What did we talk about? We talked about what you can do personally and what you can do nutritionally to boost your immune system. That got hammered. It was suppressed in the view count. It was demonetized. It's ridiculous. And frankly, we put so much time and effort into these presentations that just to have it messed up. And there are also people that have complained to me that there's inserts occurring in the videos that we didn't put in. So we're at a point now where we're so frustrated with what's happening on this platform that we have to find a way to get the information out and avoid the pillaging that's occurring over here. Today's presentation is going to focus on the setup, the frame jobs of General Flynn and President Trump. Look, President Trump was set up from the very beginning. Whether it's the fake Russian hoax, as Bill Binney and Kirk Wiebe pointed out, the fake Russian hoax, the fake Ukraine hoax, this impeachment hoax. It's all about removing a duly elected president of the United States by the deep state. And same thing for General Flynn. They needed to get rid of General Flynn because General Flynn knows where all the bodies are buried, and we've gone into that at great length. He testified behind closed doors to Congress under oath about what the Obama administration had been doing when it relates to and what occurred in Benghazi. That it was a weapons-running operation, first into Al-Qaeda, then with Stevens running the point for the Obama administration, backflowing those arms into Turkey, into Syria to weaponize ISIS. And the deep state could not have General Flynn in the position of national security advisor because he was talking about auditing the Department of Defense, auditing military budgets, auditing intelligence budgets, seeing where this money was going, for what it was, these huge amounts of money, where it was going and for what was being done with that money. They couldn't have that. And remember, when Strzok and Page talked about the insurance policy, a lot of folks have said a lot of things about what the insurance policy is. Let me tell you what my sources have said. The insurance policy was to frame and get rid of General Flynn. Because they felt if they could frame and get rid of General Flynn, they could get him to flip on President Trump, and it would lead to the departure of President Trump. The insurance policy of the fake Russian hoax was to take General Flynn down. Period. Now, there's been a lot going on with General Flynn. And I went into great depth this week on our WTF show. But there has been some recent developments that the lamestream media is not going to tell you, and I want to provide that information for you. Just from the beginning of the year, General Flynn on January 14th, 2020, pulled back his guilty plea that he lied under oath to the FBI on one occasion in that interview. He pulled it back. It was big. It was huge. I think it surprised the deep state. Remember, the week prior to that, January 7th, 2020, the prosecutors all of a sudden decided that they were going to put more heat on General Flynn. They thought they had him and his fantastic attorney, Sidney Powell, right where they needed him. And what they said is, we recommended previously a 0 prison time. Well, now we're going to suggest 0 to 6 months. And they thought that would be so detrimental to General Flynn and Sidney Powell that they just cave. The deep state did not adequately assess the characters of General Flynn and Sidney Powell. They're courageous warriors who will fight to the end. So what did they do? As I mentioned, they said, really? You want to do that? All right, I'll tell you what. General Flynn withdraws his guilty plea on January 14th. In fact, Sidney Powell then submitted a sentencing memorandum on January 22nd, 2020. Put the government's feet to the fire, the deep state's feet to the fire. And then on the 29th of January 2020, she submitted a motion to dismiss the charges against General Flynn due to egregious, quote, egregious governmental misconduct, end quote. And on that same day, January 29, 2020, General Flynn entered a declaration. The bought-off lamestream fake media has not told you about this declaration. Fox News, part of the bought-off lamestream fake media, and I know many people have fought me on this for years. Yeah, I know. There are certain players, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Lauren Ingraham, Lou Dobbs, who are fighting against the deep state. I get it. But their bosses who run Fox News are deep state dweebs all the way across the board. But I want to read to you portions of General Flynn's declaration because this is important. Because they're not just prosecuting General Flynn. They're prosecuting every American with this. If they can set up a 3-star general, the former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, what can they do to every American, to you, to me, to 320 million of us? Yeah, they can do it to every one of us. And don't think they don't want to try. This is why this case and this trial is so important. Here is General Flynn's declaration. I am a citizen of the United States and more than 18 years old. I served over 33 years in the United States Army. 5 of those years I spent deployed in active combat in Afghanistan, Iraq, and elsewhere around the world in support of the United States foreign policy objectives. I was a lifelong Democrat, and President Barack Obama twice appointed me to positions that required Senate confirmation. In my final military assignment, I served as head of the Defense Intelligence Agency until September 2014. On December 1st, 2017, and I reiterated on December 18, 2018, I pled guilty to lying to agents of the FBI. I am innocent of this crime, and I request to withdraw my plea. On January 20th, 2017, I entered office as President Trump's national security advisor. 4 days later, FBI Director McCabe called me and asked if I would meet with a couple of FBI agents at the White House. I agreed. I was an intelligence officer for over 33 years. Since 1981 and throughout my military and government career, I have held the highest level security clearance our government provides. When FBI agents came to the White House on January 24, 2017, I did not lie to them. I believed I was honest with them to the best of my recollection at the time. My baseline reaction to questions posed by people outside of my superiors' immediate command or office of responsibility is to protect sensitive or classified information, except upon, quote, need to know, end quote, and the proper level of security clearance. That type of filter is ingrained in me, and I virtually automatic after a lifetime of honoring my duties to protect the most important national and military secrets. Of course, I was angered and embarrassed by the furor that erupted in the press over the felonious leaks of high, sensitive, and classified information that was my phone call with Ambassador Kislyak. It was distracting to my work to be the center of such a commotion, and it was upsetting to be the cause of disruption to the busy and important work in support of a new president of the United States. I resigned as National Security Advisor on February 13, 2017. I believe my resignation letter to President Trump stated quite accurately what happened, and both he and Vice President graciously accepted my apology. The transition period was an incredibly intense time. I was communicating with representatives of multiple foreign countries on countless and varied issues every day. Frankly, of the national security dangers and concerns that weighed on our minds at the time, sanctions on Russia were far from the most pressing threat or concern. We were dealing with many more serious crises around the world. The calls with Ambassador Kislyak were brief and few. They were no more exceptional than my numerous calls and personal interactions with senior representatives of governments from around the world during an exceedingly demanding work schedule. After I left the White House, I agreed to engage Kellner, that's his attorney from Covington, his colleague Stephen Anthony, and other Covington lawyers to represent me in any FBI investigations and eventually the special counsel's office investigation. They also continued to represent me in regards to FARA, that's Foreign Agent Registration Act, related issues. At one of my first meetings with Kellner and Mr. Anthony, they asked me, quote, ready for this? Now this is supposedly his attorneys from Covington. Now remember, Eric Holder, the former Attorney General under Obama, was a partner in Covington. Why did General Flynn choose Covington initially? Because they were the ones that were the experts in D.C. on these FARA filing endeavors. Here's what they asked me. These are his own attorneys. Quote, if I had anything on President Trump as it would provide much more leverage with the government. With respect to the FARA filing, my Covington counsel did not explain to me that there were any problems with the FARA filing that the Covington attorneys did that required Covington to re-examine any of the issues in August of 2017. I would have hired independent counsel to reevaluate the FARA filing and amend it if necessary had I known the severity of the conflict. In other words, the Covington lawyers set General Flynn up. They filled out his FARA filings wrong. And that's what the government used as leverage against him, one of the things. They also used his son. They also used his family. They also used bankruptcy, trying to bankrupt him.